All right, let's talk about something every parent has watched with fascination, those first wobbly steps that turn into a full-on sprint across the living room. We're diving into the unique way each child walks. You know, every kid's journey is different, and how they move is a massive part of their story. So let's get into what makes their walk special and what you might want to look for.
You know that moment, right? You're at the park watching your kid tear across the grass. Maybe their feet turn in just a little bit, or they seem to trip over their own feet more than their buddies. And that little question pops into your head. Is that normal? It's a question pretty much every parent asks. And today, we're going to break down what those little quirks in their step could mean.
So let's get on the same page. The term gait disorder sounds pretty serious, but really, it's just a way of saying a walking pattern that's a bit different from that typical heel-to-toe stride we expect to see. And here's the most important part. A lot of these variations are totally normal phases kids go through. But if a specific pattern sticks around, well, that's when it can start to affect other things, like their balance during tag, how long they can play before getting worn out, and even how confident they feel jumping into a game of soccer.
Okay, so what are the actual signs that a walking pattern might need a little extra attention? Well, the first clues often aren't what you'd think.
And this is super interesting. The first signs are often about behavior, not just how their feet look. For instance, does your kiddo seem to run out of steam way faster than their friends? Do they kind of shy away from running games at the playground? Or maybe you notice they trip a lot, or complain that their legs are achy after a busy day. These are all little signals that their body might be working overtime just to keep up. Then, of course, you have the more obvious physical signs. This is the stuff you can actually see, like in-toeing. You know, where the feet point inward like they're pigeon-toed, or the opposite, out-toeing. You might also spot knock knees, where the knees brush against each other when they run, or bow legs, where there's a distinct curve outward. Basically, any kind of unevenness in their walk that doesn't seem to go away is worth noting.
All right, so maybe you've noticed a few of these things. The next step could be getting a professional assessment, which I know can sound a bit formal and intimidating. But really, the whole point is just to get a clear, friendly look at what's going on. It's way less clinical than it sounds.
A good assessment is pretty straightforward. It really just starts with observation. A therapist will just watch your child walk, run, and play. Easy enough? Then they'll gently check the range of motion in their hips, knees, and ankles, and maybe do some fun little tests to see how strong their core and leg muscles are. And then comes the most important part, sitting down with you, the parent, to talk about what they saw and what the next steps might look like. No surprises.
So once we understand the why behind your child's unique walk, we get to shift to the fun part, the how. This is where we create a plan to help them move more efficiently and confidently.
Now, in-clinic therapy isn't about boring drills. It's actually a whole toolkit of fun, engaging, and age-appropriate activities. Think games that build strength in the hips and core, balance challenges, and drills to help them learn where to place their feet. It might also include some gentle stretching and, if needed, some advice on the best kind of shoes. It's all about a plan made just for them.
And this is so critical to remember. The progress doesn't just happen at the clinic. In fact, some of the most amazing work happens right in your own home, just by weaving simple habits into your daily routine. And these at-home habits, they are absolute game changers. I'm talking about simple things, like letting them play barefoot in the house to strengthen their feet, or gently encouraging them to sit and stand in ways that support good posture. It's all about making these small adjustments a consistent part of their day, which reinforces everything they learn in therapy.
So after all this work, in the clinic, at home, what's the payoff? What does improvement actually look like? Well, I can tell you it's about so much more than just a perfect walk.
The change you can see is just incredible. That uneven walk starts to look more smooth and symmetrical. The kid who got tired so easily now has the endurance to keep up with everyone. Where there was poor balance, you now see better coordination. And where there were trips and falls, you see this amazing new confidence in their own movement. Honestly, that confidence is everything. And here's a fascinating little thing to keep in mind. If you ever notice your child's walk suddenly looks a little funky again, it could just be a growth spurt. Seriously, think about it. Their bones are lengthening super fast, and sometimes their muscles just need a minute to catch up. It can cause a bit of temporary clumsiness, but it's a great reminder that a child's development is never a perfectly straight line. Which brings us to our last big thought here. We've talked about the signs, the therapy, all the mechanics. But if we zoom out, what does all of this really mean for a child's future? What does confident movement truly unlock? It's the freedom to say yes, to join the game, to explore the world, to live an active, healthy life without feeling held back. It's the foundation for so much more than just walking.